Yo, what's going on guys, HyperX here, welcome back to another Destiny video. It's Tuesday, it's reset day, which of course means it is time for me to tell you guys what is new in the world of Destiny this week. As always, if you guys do enjoy this, you do find it helpful, then a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below if you have any questions. I've also included some weapon recommendations this week based on feedback from you guys last week. You said you wanted me to include them, so I've rolled some of those into the end of this video. Also, just before I get started, yesterday I recorded a discussion, a Destiny 2 discussion with My Name is Blythe and Skill Up. So if you guys haven't seen that, I will link it down below. It's a really cool discussion. We basically take a look at Destiny as it exists right now, some of the stuff we're happy with, some of the stuff we want to see sort of change, and then move into Destiny 2, talking about our wish list, some of the stuff we are hoping to see in the gameplay reveal, and of course just the final game. So I will link it down below, definitely check it out. It is quite long, so I recommend either watching it maybe over dinner or maybe if you're at the gym or something like that. But either way, check it out, hopefully you guys will enjoy that. But turning our attention to this week, starting off with the raid challenge, the weekly featured raid. That is, of course, Vault of Glass. We now know that our cycle is, of course, Crota, Vault, King's Fall, and Wrath. So this week is Vault, which, of course, means the challenges are Templar and Atheon. As always, if you guys have any trouble with that, then you can find challenge mode guides on the channel. But, of course, by now, hopefully you guys have had a chance to run through them since we have done a complete cycle already. But either way, do those. That's a chance at 400 light gear, a chance at the new Adept weapons, everything like that. So it's definitely worth your time. And, of course, in the process, you'll also be getting Age of Triumph ornaments. As for your Nightfall this week, the Nightfall itself is Omnigore Strike, so down on Earth, and your modifiers are Brawler, so Guardian melee damage is greatly increased, Grounded, where players take more damage whilst airborne, Chaff, where player radar is disabled, and Match Game, where enemy shields are resistant to all unmatched elemental damage. And of course, completing that will give you a Skeleton Key. Moving on from there to the Siva Christ Heroic Strike playlist, your modifiers for that are Specialist, Chaff, and Airborne, and that is of course a source of 30 legendary marks if you do 3. And also one of your 3 weekly Treasures of the Ages. For the 390 version of the Challenge of the Elders this week, your modifiers are Specialist and Trickle, so special weapon damage is favoured and recharge of abilities is significantly reduced. Plus your bonus this week is a super kill bonus, so throw on any armor pieces or weapons that will help you regenerate your super, and then you should be good to go. Moving on to the weekly story playlist, this week the missions are Earth and Moon, so of course that's where your story missions will rotate within. This is of course another source at a Treasure of the Ages, 20 legendary marks in total, and your modifiers for this one are Small Arms and Grounded. And then finally, for your last Treasure of the Ages, Combined Arms is your Crucible playlist this week. That is one of my favourite modes of all time, so definitely jump in, have fun with that, get a treasure in the process, and then that will conclude your 3 for the week. Moving on from there to the vendors, starting off in Felwinter Peak and speaking to Tira Khan, your artifacts this week are Memory of Timur, where melee attacks on minions of the darkness have the chance to temporarily turn the target against its allies. You also have Memory of Radagast, where you gain the ability to reflect energy-based projectiles whilst you're guarding with a sword. And on top of that, you also have Memory of Gelion, which grants a detailed radar, and your radar persists while sighting with primary weapons. Moving on from there to speak to Shiro 4, these are your bounties this week. Again, if you're going into the Plaguelands in any capacity, then make sure you pick them up and complete those. Also a chance to proc the Thorn bounty if you guys haven't done that yet. And for the armor pieces, these are the ones he has for sale this week. Then jumping over from there to the tower and speaking to Lord Shaxx. Of course, these are your 2 weekly Crucible bounties. Completing both of these as a chance at Nightfall tier rewards. So again, if you guys want to get some more loot this week, then those are 2 things to turn your attention to. And also speaking to Commander Zavala, these are your 3 strike scoring bounties. So again, if you are after Icebreaker still, then it's in your interest to grab these, complete them, work through some of the playlists in the process, and hopefully get that weapon to drop. Then for the final set of vendors, at least for the bounty side of things, then moving over to the Reef, speaking to Petravenge. These are your bounties this week. Remember, this is a combination of weekly and daily bounties. And if you're going into the Prison of Elders in any capacity, then these are the bounties from Varix. So that is fundamentally where the traditional weekly reset video would have finished, but for those of you guys that want some weapon recommendations, then let's turn our attention to those now. It is worth noting I was toying up with different ideas for this. I don't know whether you guys would prefer me to show you every single weapon each week so you can just make your own mind up, or whether you would just prefer me to recommend a few. So for this week, I am going on the recommendation path, but if you would just rather I show you all the weapons, then do comment down below, and I can of course adapt the format to suit you guys. But one of the things you definitely want to pick up this week is the Palindrome from the Crucible Quartermaster. Palindrome this week has Icarus, Rifled Barrel, and Rangefinder, so that is a very nice combination of talents, especially if you guys play a lot in the Crucible and you plan to jump shot. So yeah, this is definitely a very nice set of talents. Grab this if you do not have it. Palindrome has always been a nice weapon anyway, but this is an especially nice set of talents. As for the Fusion Rifle, also at the Crucible Quartermaster, each new day, this one has Unflinching, it also has Rifle Barrel, and it has Hot Swap. So again, for those of you guys that like to use Fusion Rifles, that's not a bad set of talents for sure. The Bad Counsel Shotgun has Quick Draw, Hammer Forged, and Crowd Control. As for the Vanguard Quartermaster, the Angel's Advocate, which is normally a pretty nice weapon, at least kind of as archetypes go, it doesn't have the best roll this week, so if you guys picked that up recently, I would probably recommend just kind of skipping this one this time round. Then finally, moving over to FWC this week, the WORMWOOD sidearm has Quick Draw, it also has Fitted Stock, and it has Rangefinder. And as for the WARPATH, this is definitely not as good as the roll that everyone picked up a while ago, but this week it does have tracking instead of cluster. But for the time being, if you guys picked that one up a few weeks back when it had cluster, one of the kind of best weapons to use against Axis, then I'd probably hold tight for a bit. Hopefully we'll see that roll again at some point soon, but for the time being, that is pretty much it. So again, let me know in the comments down below if you guys would prefer me to just show you all the weapons so you can kind of make your own minds up, or whether you would just rather I pick out a select few like I did this week. Either way, let me know, but thank you for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.